Welcome to another rootin' tootin' highfalutin episode of Sci-Fi Journal presented by the Rhode Island Science Fiction Club. This show is for April 2019. I'm Marc Morisseau. Also hosting the show today are Maddy Morisseau, Calvin Watts III, James Hinsey, and Ian Kingston. All right, lots of fun. We got some good stuff this month. Oh my goodness, are you so glad you showed up to watch this show?
I am.
It's going to be awesome.
This is my birthday month.
Yeah, that's true.
Yay.
April when?
April 8th.
Hey, sounds good. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
And let's start off with the wonderful world of movies and popcorn previews.
All right, so we've got a pretty interesting docket for us this month. So a little less than standard mainstream movies this time around, although I think that there's some pretty good ones in this list either way. We're going to start off with Brightburn, which is coming out on May 24th, directed by David Yarovesky. And the description goes, what if a child from another world crash-landed on Earth, but instead of becoming a hero to mankind, he proved to be something far more sinister? It's a superhero kind of horror movie. It's starring Elizabeth Banks, David Denman, Jackson A. Dunn. Let's take a look at that one.
Who am I? You are a gift. I know it's been difficult for you lately that you feel different from other kids. You are different. After your dad and I got married, we prayed for a baby for so long. One night, someone listened. Brandon? You are special. We believe that you came here for a reason. He was in the barn.
Did he find it?
No. It was like he was drawn to it.
He may look like us. He's not like us.
So I'm pretty excited about that one because it's basically a take on Superman, as if instead of him being Superman, he's more like a Dr. Evil of villainy. But you know, with the superhero kind of powers that Superman does have, you know, invulnerability, ability to fly, super strength, but diabolical in nature. You know, his eyes glow red. The cinematic indication that he's an evil person. So I'm pretty excited for that one. Have you guys seen the trailer yet?
Yes,
No.
I've seen it. It's scary.
Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. I'm definitely going to check that one out. Next, we have John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, another Keanu Reeves movie.
Yep.
Probably his best role as the John Wick movies, I would say. So I'm excited for the third chapter in that installment to come out, coming out on May 17th, 2019. Directed by Chad Stahelski. And it goes super assassin John Wick is on the run after killing a member of the International Assassins Guild. And with a $14 million price tag on his head, he is the target of hitmen everywhere. Starring Keanu Reeves, Ian McShane, and Halle Berry. Let's take a look at that one.
Jonathan, what have you done?
To dream the impossible dream.
There's no escape for you. The High Table wants your life.
To right the unrightable wrong.
Tell me what you want.
Passage.
I can't help you.
To reach the unreachable star.
Do you expect him to make it out? A $14 million bounty on his head. And everyone in the city wants a piece of it. I say the odds are about even. Doc, 5 seconds.
John Wick, excommunicado in effect in 3,
2,
1.
and away we go.
To follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far. To fight for the right, without question or pause. To be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause.
Sophia, we're not going in like the old days. Just a conversation.
Nothing's ever just a conversation with you, John.
The unreachable
So,
Well, you know, he was really great in Bill and Ted, so I don't know. Man.
I thought he was also pretty good in the first Matrix movie. You know,
Yeah.
No, the John Wick movies are awesome.
I saw the first John Wick.
Absolutely
I haven't
awesome.
seen the second
Oh,
one.
you got to see
But
the
the first
second
one was pretty
The
good.
second one was over the top, but
Was
it was awesome.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy stuff.
awesome.
We'll see if they can top it.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be exciting either way. Moving on to the last movie I'm going to review this month, we've got Men in Black International.
Yes.
This one's going to be I think even a little bit more comedic than the original ones were. Coming out on June 14th. It's directed by F. Gary Gray, and it goes: the Men in Black have always protected the Earth from the scum of the universe. In this new adventure, they tackle their biggest threat to date, a mole in the MIB organization. Starring Tessa Thompson, Chris Hemsworth, and Liam Neeson. It's going to be like a whole new cast for Men in Black. Takes place a lot in London, where the new organization is being stationed out of instead of New York. But it looks to be really, really fun. Chris Hemsworth being comedic as always, and it's putting a whole new flair on the existing, kind of structure of the MIB. Let's take a look at that one.
Always remember, the universe has a way of leading you to where you're supposed to be at the moment you're supposed to be there.
Let's do this.
It took me 20 years to find you. How many people can say that? You are the best kept secret in the universe. And I found you. Which makes me perfect for this job.
You really think a black suit is going to solve all your problems?
No, but looks damn good on you.
Oh, snap! Oh, snap! Oh, snap! Oh, snap!
We
Oh, snap!
are a rumor. Recognizable only as deja vu and dismissed just as quickly. Time to prove yourself, Agent M. We may have a problem in London.
Welcome to MIB. You will be with Agent H, one of the best ever to wear this suit.
To fight for the right, without question or pause. To be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. To fight for the right, without question or pause. To be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. To fight for the right, without question or pause. To be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. To fight for the right, without question or pause. To be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. To fight for the right, without question or pause. To be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. To fight for the right, without question or pause. To be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. To fight for the right, without question or pause. To be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. To fight for the right, without question or pause. To be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. To fight for the right, without question or pause. To be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. To fight for the right, without question or pause. To be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. To fight for the right, without question or pause
catching up on my daily meditation. Time for lunch, I think. You hungry?
It's 9:30.
Perfect. Tuesday's taco day.
To the club, step aside. Pop the seats, don't be heavy in the line. VIP, cause you know I gotta shine.
We've been compromised. It puts every citizen of this planet at risk.
Come every time you come around my London bridge.
Side view mirror.
Oh, snap! Come every time you come around my London bridge. Wanna go down like.
If you could all just look right here.
Just try.
Going down like, going down like, going down like, going down.
It's gonna be fun. We'll have fun with it.
There should be a big red button around here somewhere.
Found it.
We are the men in black.
Looks like the tables have turned.
That was an incredible catch.
Those are a lot of fun. I like the MIB movies, and this trailer looks pretty good too.
I'm excited
All
for
the
it.
little aliens and.
And I just love Chris
walking
Hemsworth.
around.
He's always fun.
Yeah.
On to our next segment. Everybody's second favorite segment of the show, I think.
Second favorite.
Because obviously, Mark's is better.
I'm not taking credit for that one.
We've got a segment we like to call Game Over with Calvin Watts the Third. Take it away, Calvin.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
The reason that I wasn't here over the past month, and it's been, in all seriousness, it's been a trying time for me. So my mom got sick late last year, and we knew that she only had a limited amount of time to live, and that kind of got short, and she passed away early in February after a prolonged illness. So I was dealing with that. And then on my anniversary, no less, my wife Leslie, who's a sometime contributor of the show and a longtime member of the Science Fiction Club, had a heart attack on our way to our anniversary dinner. Fortunately, she's okay and she's home recovering, and we all wish her the best. And I just want her to know that I love her very much, and that I'm with you and we're going to get through this together.
Yeah, the big question is though, did you get takeout?
No, I didn't get takeout, but I'm gonna take this and slam this up your head is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so back
Just
to
trying to lighten the moment here. All right, go ahead.
back to normal. There's not a lot in the way of home media releases because we're kind of in that lull area between Christmas and April and May, but we have some really cool things that are coming out or be already coming out, along as well as some hopefully rumored titles that'll really come out. Because I say rumored because they've been rumored for years and years and years, and I'll get to that. So, but coming out officially very soon will be Aquaman, which is now officially the biggest DC Universe movie ever.
Yes, can you believe it?
That's just crazy.
Actually, I can believe it,
And-
based on the other DC movies.
And Shazam's coming, and then people are starting to have positive things to say.
So we'll see about that. The Peter Jackson flick Mortal Engines, which came and went really
Real
quickly,
quick,
already a favorite for one of the biggest box office bombs for the past year. But I still want to see it. I didn't get the chance to see it, so I'd like to go see it.
Yeah, that's how one of my pick it up on Netflix when it shows up type of things.
I did get to see M. Night Shyamalan's Glass in the theater before it
Keith,
left.
they're still letting him make movies.
That was actually really good.
Excuse me.
I was pretty impressed with what they did.
Okay.
The twist wasn't what I expected, but that's
Right.
fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But that'll be out for those of you that missed it in its theatrical release.
Do they see dead people?
I'm not telling you. That's spoiling it, and
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Thanks.
I got a seventh sense about that one.
Let's knock it off because it's going to get worse. Go ahead.
Ridley Scott's Alien is going to get a 40th anniversary. I believe it's been 40 years since Alien came out.
Yep, because
I
I'm old.
can't. I
remember
wasn't
that.
alive then.
No, you weren't.
All together now. Shut up.
Yeah, shut up, Ian. You want to hear your name, Ian.
What's your name again? Calvin Watts.
Almost the same.
Anyways, so
Oh no! Now I have to change all the YouTube.
no, I'm still calling myself
Okay.
Calvin Watts III. I don't care.
Yeah.
So Alien's going to get a 40th anniversary release for the first time remastered in 4K. So it'll have the HDR 4K.
Nice.
It looks like the extra materials will be like the same that was released on a really awesome Alien Anthology set. But if you're a fan of the movie, it'll have the theatrical release and the director's cut edition that came out in like 2003, which was
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan, definitely pick that up.
I've seen that movie a gazillion times, and it still scares the bejeebies out of me.
Oh,
It really does.
It's
well done.
really, really good. As for the rumored titles, this year will mark the 25th anniversary of James Cameron's True Lies and the 30th anniversary of The Abyss, which is probably the most underrated film that he has done.
Yeah.
Really, really
it is
awesome film
awesome.
if you have not seen it. He's been working on like the remastered for years. The last actual release was like a special edition DVD. So I mean, it's been years. It's not been released on Blu-ray or in high definition in any way, shape, or form. And so the problem basically has been he's been working on all the Avatar stuff, and he hasn't. He needs to approve the transfers for actually to have it come out on physical media. So we're really hoping. It looks like there's been some push in that regard, and hopefully this year we're going to actually see that, which would be really, really cool.
I'm dating myself because I do have that movie, but I have it on VHS.
So on to gaming news, and with Sony pulling out of E3, Microsoft looks like it's going to make a really big push for their presentation at E3. And right now the biggest thing that they're talking about is not one, but 2 new consoles that are going to be coming out. It's been rumored for a while, and it looks like it's going to be like this, and I'm pretty sure we'll have definitive confirmation when E3 comes around. But when the Xbox One originally came out, you know, they were looking to have it be like an all-in-one entertainment system that was connected online. And so not quite in that vein, but the first out of the 2 systems that they're talking about, right now its code name is Maverick, so it's not the final name of the system, but it will not have a disk drive in it. So totally just downloadable hard drive content. They're talking about having like a disc to digital program, so if you have like a physical media disc, they'll have some sort of a program where you can turn that in and get like a digital copy of it. So if you have like games on a disc, you'll be able to play it on this new system. They're still planning on coming out with a higher end system that will have a disk drive in it though. So more information as it comes along, and we'll wait to see what they pull out at E3.
So do you think that this will be the straw that broke the camel's back with companies like GameStop?
It's going that way. I mean, the writing's on the wall. It's going to take a little bit longer, I think, but a lot of that is mainly because of the accessibility of high-speed internet around the country. There's still a lot of rural places that don't have it, or if they do have it, they don't have like really good connections. If you had that, I think this would kind of be accelerated. But if you go and you look at the rise of streaming media, like, you know, Disney's coming out with their streaming channel, you have Netflix, you have Prime, you have like the Roku, you have more and more people streaming and less people buying physical media. Samsung just announced that they're going to stop making Blu-ray and 4K players. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's definitely going that way, and it's going to get there sooner or later. People like that convenience, and there's something to be said for that. I'm not ready to go there yet, though.
No. Well, doesn't GameStop already do downloads only with their PC games? If you go into a GameStop, can you actually buy?
Yeah, you can buy downloaded stuff only. But if you've gone in, they've also started to diversify into. They carry a lot more in the way of like toys and collectibles now.
And they're a big accessory shop too.
Uh-huh.
And that's where you're gonna buy a lot of your consoles. So I see their footprint shrinking, but not going away entirely, and trying to diversify more into like the Think Geek section, and then possibly incorporate like the accessories into that and actually get rid of the brand itself. I think that might happen.
Become more retail versus the game stuff, you know,
right?
Like for other things.
But Microsoft has a lot to offer, not the least of which is their Xbox Game Pass program. For like a certain amount of money each month, you have access to like over 100 different games, including all of their like first-party releases, of which Crackdown 3, after years of being in limbo, finally came out. And I did get the Xbox Game Pass again just to try that game. And while I mean, if you liked the first 2 Crackdowns, it's a really good nostalgia run, but it's not anywhere near what they were promising for Crackdown 3 to be.
Right.
They were supposed to be this really ambitious release where you could go around and destroy everything and kill everything, and they had so many plans for it, and then it got delayed, and it got delayed, and it got delayed. And now you're basically looking at Crackdown 2.5.
Yeah, Crackdown 2 with better graphics, and that's really what it is. Yep.
I mean, it held my interest for a little while, and I'll go back and play it. But if you were expecting like something new and fresh, it's not there.
Right.
And moving on to disappointments, one of the biggest games of the year, supposedly, was the EA BioWare opus Anthem has finally been released. And I don't know, man. I want to like it. I bought it. I'm glad I bought it for the Xbox because apparently the PlayStation 4 people are having a lot of issues.
What's the scenario? What's the game? What's the game like?
So it's set on a futuristic world, and you're humanoids, and basically this world. If you know anything about Gears of War, there's some parallels to that. There has been like this cataclysmic event. So so you're trying to rebuild, and there's like sci-fi factions and stuff going on. It's basically you're in an Iron Man type suit.
Oh, okay.
And so the premise is all around that. And
so it's like a shoot 'em up.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's kind of like Destiny in an Iron Man suit.
Oh, all right. Or Fortnite.
And not as good.
Like
and not as good.
Okay.
They've had a lot of problems with server issues. And with some PlayStation 4 people have had their console bricked.
Seriously, because of the game?
Because of the game. You know, they had like a day one patch of like 50 gigs. And I'm really trying to like it, but I'm not getting into it, and which is really surprising.
I said, I don't know. I don't trust EA and BioWare together working on a game because the last good BioWare game to come out was Mass Effect 2. And that was too many years ago for me to trust that either one of those companies for a major game. And I said, I'll hold off and see how it looks. Though, honestly, it looks like the entire company's on fire now. And I'm like not coming within 10 feet of that game.
There's no evidence of anybody putting out any malicious code or anything with this, is there?
No, other than EA. They put out this game that's actually more like malicious code.
Yeah.
Bad.
It should be classified as such. Right.
It's really bad.
So, but I don't want to end on a down note. And as always, you know, my opinion is just that. It's my opinion. Other people really like the game. So, you know, go try it out for yourself. See how you like it.
But your opinion counts a lot, Calvin, because you have the most popular segment on the show.
Oh, will you stop?
So.
Second most, remember? I said that at the beginning.
Well, it'll be the most popular now, so we're going to leave on a high note. Pokemon Sword and Shield are your next Pokemon releases. Now, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee was kind of like Pokemon Light for the Switch. These are full-fledged Pokemon releases that will be released on the Switch. They've been announced for late this year. So probably in November window is what I would guess.
Yeah, they release them typically in October and November.
So I believe this is Generation 8?
It will be Generation 8. It'll be the first generation now after the Sun and Moon releases. So hopefully they don't do any more like the kind of strange Alolan type stuff. I hope they don't do that anymore. Honestly, it was a little bit of a letdown for me. They kind of scaled back on the Pokemon realm and then tried to incorporate too much like sci-fi into a game that really shouldn't have it. But I'm really excited for Sword and Shield. I think it'll be a really good installment because they usually do like the every other generation is good. So I'm expecting this one to be the good one.
Yeah. And so I'm mainly saying this to the kids on my bus because we did talk about this, but this is to everybody who are gamers out there. It doesn't matter what you play on. It doesn't matter if you're on Steam. It doesn't matter if you're on a PC. It doesn't matter if you have a PlayStation 4. It doesn't matter if you have an Xbox. It doesn't matter. Almost every system, because there were some systems that were like really bad, but throughout time, there's always been some sort of a console war ever since like Atari and Intellivision way back in the 70s. Oh, my system is better than you. Almost every system has something good to offer, has good games. So in my opinion, there isn't one better over the other. A good game is a good game. And I'm leaving it at that.
There you go.
That's all I got. So on to somebody's opinion of the most popular segment. No, it's a really good segment.
Not mine.
And it would be Toob News with Marc Morisseau. So take it away, Marc.
Okay, last month I had mentioned that Star Trek Discovery may not get a third season because they're working on a Picard series and they're also working on a Below Decks comedy type series. However,
you were wrong.
I was wrong. We find out that Star Trek Discovery has been renewed for season 3. So if you enjoy that series, if you have CBS All Access and you're really into that show,
yep.
Good news. You're going to get to see a season 3. I know absolutely nothing about season 2 of that show. Thanks to you, I was able to watch season 1. But Spock is in season 2.
It's been actually, I think, more exciting than season 1.
Yeah, good. So it's probably one of those things I'll wait for it to come out on DVD and Blu-ray and catch it that way, which is good. All right, the CW has announced that all 4 of their DC superhero shows will wrap up their seasons this May. So next month, the Arrow season 7 finale begins on Monday, May 13th, and then followed by season finales for The Flash and Supergirl and all those. And they've been renewed for next year. However, there will be a Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event this fall, leading to the 8th and final season of Arrow. So Arrow's going to get a final 8th season, but only for 10 episodes. After that, we don't know what's going to happen to Oliver Queen's character. He might make like cameos and other on other programs on occasion. I'm wondering how they're going to follow this Crisis on Infinite Earths.
The way that people have been talking about it online since the news broke earlier this week is that I believe the Crisis crossover will be around like episode 9 of Arrow. So yeah, it's probably going to have something to do with how the series ends out. And while it's been a really great series, I had stumbled a couple of years ago, but then it came back with a vengeance.
Right.
But it's time.
Yeah, it's for Arrow to finish up. But in regards to Crisis, how can they follow the actual comic book version? Because in that one, the Flash dies and Supergirl dies and
spoilers.
Well, it was back in 1987. For God's sake, if you haven't read it by now,
85. Boy,
85,
you are getting
that's even
old.
worse. All right. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And there's rumors also that Batwoman that appeared earlier this year. There's rumors that she might get her own series to replace Arrow, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean, Gotham's going away.
Yep.
So something more in the Gotham universe.
What a wild ride Gotham has been. I don't know if you've been watching this very last season of Gotham. They've been doing some crazy stuff in the DC universe and the whole Batman universe. And Batman celebrates 80 years this year, too.
Yep.
Some crazy stuff on
it's been good.
On that show. It's been really good. But good stuff. So if you like those CW shows and in Crisis on Infinite Earth, that's something to look forward to this fall. Amazon is working on a Lord of the Rings TV show set in the Second Age, 3,000 years before the films. The show has a proposed budget of $500 million, which would make it the most expensive TV show ever.
Whoop, whoop.
No details have been released on the characters featured in the show, though it was originally reported that the series would be set prior to the events of the first book, Fellowship of the Ring.
Wow.
All right, so we're going to get an Amazon.
We're going to get the Silmarillion in there. We're going to get a lot of the First War and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be great.
Now, I have to be upfront and say that I am not a Lord of the Rings fan. I'm a Board of the Rings fan. I mean, as far as my book, the way I look at it is in the first book, Gandalf had these giant eagles. He could have taken that ring, flown it over the volcano, dropped the stupid ring in there, end of story, instead of putting us through the torture of 12 hours worth of Lord of the Rings.
No, because the ring would have corrupted him.
Exactly.
Yes, but there was a theory floating around that Gandalf purposely did not do that because he wanted the hobbits to go through the life experiences, which tells me that Gandalf is a jerk. So
I
that's how
heard
look
that the
at it.
eagle theory wouldn't work because of the Nazgul.
See, I heard that the theory, the eagle theory would work, but Gandalf decided not to. But anyways, if you like this series, I don't. But if you do like this series, it's coming up.
Okay, so
in Amazon.
it's very simple.
Yes.
Fire-breathing dragons.
Yes.
Eagles with no powers.
Right.
Who would
Dragons win.
Right.
Eagles lose.
Right.
End of story.
But I hate the Eagles. I'm a Patriots fan.
Yeah. That's another issue.
That's a whole other
That's
issue.
another issue.
Okay,
let's
moving
not go
on.
there.
Dark Horse is releasing a 4-issue comic series based on the Orville, which has also been another fantastic show. The Orville comic will take place between the Fox's show's first and second season, and will be split into two-issue storylines. And the first issue of this comic hits the stores on July 17th. So if you're a big fan of the Orville, you like collecting comics, something to pick up. Sound good? Yes, the Orville has been the new next generation as far as I'm concerned. Brandon Braga is one of the producers, and the background music sounds like every next-gen Deep Space Nine episode that you ever had.
Jonathan Frakes directed some episodes.
Yep, he does that. A lot of the storylines are similar, but they've been doing a good job with that show. Thursday nights, I like it.
Yeah.
And last but not least, some sad news. Actor Luke Perry of 90210 fame and more recently starring in the CW series Riverdale died on March 4th, 2019 from complications connected to a stroke. He was only 52 years old. So that was a big shock in the Hollywood community.
Yeah. He was in the Showtime post-apocalyptic series Jeremiah in the early 2000s.
That's right, yes.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, okay.
Yep.
No,
that's right.
Jericho was the CBS one.
Those two.
About a year or so after.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it only lasted 2 seasons, but it was really good.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Plus, we also just literally found out last night. Apparently, he died back in February, but Jan Michael Vincent passed away.
Yes.
Jan Michael Vincent.
Yep.
From his biggest claim to fame was Earwolf.
Earwolf. But he also did, what was that show that was with the banana splits?
Danger
Island.
Right. He was also in Damnation Alley.
You have no
He was
idea.
also in
right?
Damnation
No idea.
Alley.
A 1960s live-action costume
That was
animals called the banana
30
splits.
years before I
Yes.
was born.
So
And
it was a mixture of live action, and they did like stuff in the amusement park, and it was supposed to be funny, but then they would have like little shorts, on a mixture of like cartoons and like live action films. And so Danger Island was like this really silly live action.
It was very campy.
Thing. It was very campy.
Did he play like a Tarzan-like character in the show?
No, he was one of the shipwrecked
He was-
people.
that's right, he was one
He
of
was
the
like the
shipwreck
young
guys.
shipwreck guy.
Yeah,
but yeah.
yeah.
And
that was
Richard
my fault.
Donner, who directed Superman, was also involved with Danger Island.
Yeah, that was cool. That's how he got. That's how he got his start.
See, that's something for you to go look up on YouTube.
Yep. So God
Or
bless
not.
John Michael. Or not.
And Damnation Alley is based on a Roger Zelazny novel, and I enjoyed seeing that in theaters.
Post-apocalyptic movie, which was
Yes.
awesome.
Yes, that was a very good movie.
With a huge vehicle that was really cool with these triple wheel things. on
Yes.
Yep. But there was also one called the Ark on TV.
And it was not the same machine.
It was
but
not
it was
the same.
Similar.
No, it was similar,
Yes.
but it was not the same. Well, that's what similar means.
Might have been the
or not
same.
It was different.
Designer though, or car mate. You know, the guy who built it might have been
Yeah,
the same.
yeah. But anyway, okay, that's all I have this month for Tube News. Let's move on to Books and Board Games with Maddy Morisseau. Take it away, Maddy.
Thank you. All right, so we have about 2 board games and 1 book to share with you.
You got stuff this
I
month.
got stuff this month.
All right.
Woo! So, speaking of, you said 80-year anniversary of Batman, right?
Yes.
This year. So, on that same note, there's actually been a release of a new board game called Batman Gotham City Chronicles. Now, I say this ahead of time. This is not a board game that you should pick up for your kids to play with your families. This is a collectibles edition board game that will run you over $100. But let me explain it. So it looks to wed similar gameplay elements from Conan to the aesthetic similar to the Arkham video game series, which is pretty cool. It also has cool miniatures. So even if you aren't into board games, but you are into Batman collectibles, this may be something that you're interested in picking up. So the game's going to feature asymmetrical combat with one player controlling the iconic Batman villain. like Joker, Poison Ivy, etc., as well as their henchmen, while every other player will control a hero like Batman, Nightwing, Catwoman, etc. So Inverse writes that the developers went deep into Batman lore for some of their characters. So you're also going to see characters like Man-Bat, Deathstroke, and Orphan. So again, I say this isn't a game that you should pick up to play with your kids, but if you are a Batman collectible person, or if you are just a game board enthusiast, this is a really good board game for you to look into. Again, it's very expensive, but if you're into those kinds of things, the money might be worth it for you.
So we know that Matches Malone will probably pick up that game. Right? Matches Malone is a gentleman who dresses up as Batman and appears at different conventions and stuff in the New England area. So Matches, if you're watching, hi, dude. He's a cool guy.
So also, we were apparently on the same mindset. So speaking of The Lord of the Rings, there's also going to be a new board game that is coming out called The Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. So if you are someone who's into D&D games, I would perk up your ears. So each session of this game will take place in a sprawling campaign that will see players work together to stand up to the forces of evil. It will feature cooperative play and let players take control of iconic heroes from the Lord of the Rings universe.
Does it take 12 hours to play?
Depends on how you play.
Okay.
Does it have eagles?
We'll find out.
Does it have eagles that can get burned up by dragons?
Only if you choose to use them.
I digress. So the game will also come with a companion app which will control the enemies in each scenario. So it's essentially a way that if you want to play a kind of game, kind of like a D&D style game, but you don't actually want anybody to be the GM, the game master, and you all want to play, the app will be the game master for you, which is pretty cool. So it's also going to come with a bunch of miniatures to paint in a huge amount of modular tiles, ensuring that the game board is different every single time you play. So if you're someone who wants to get into D&D, but you don't want to do the whole formality of who's going to be the game master and spending hours and hours trying to figure out and plan, it's already pre-planned for you. Everybody gets to enjoy it, and I think it'll be a great time. So I would definitely check that one out.
Nice.
So for the book that I have, this book is called Another Kingdom by Andrew Clavin. So the quote that they gave for this was, "What is this place? Was I crazy, or was I crazy before back in LA? Was my real life some sort of dream, and was this hell a reality?" So Austin Lively is a struggling, disillusioned screenwriter whose life is suddenly changed forever when he opens a door and is unwittingly transported to a fantastical medieval realm. Austin finds himself wielding a bloody dagger while standing over a very beautiful and very dead woman. So, bewildered and confused, he is seized by castle guards and thrown into a dungeon. Just when he begins to fear the worst, he is suddenly transported back to reality in LA. So, being stuck between dual realities, charged for a murder he doesn't recall in one, and running from a maniacal billionaire who's determined to kill him in another, Austin's monotonous life has become an epic adventure of magic, murder, and political intrigue in both the New Republic of Galiana and the streets of Los Angeles, California. So this book sounds really interesting if you're looking for a more comedic sense of this poor guy, you're Joe Schmo, who's suddenly stuck between these two complicated zones, traveling back in time between these two realities. It seems like a good read. So if you're looking for a new book this month, this is what you should check out. So the Batman book, the Batman board game and the book are both coming out this month, and The Lord of the Rings does not have an official month release, but I would say probably sometime in the summer. So that is all that I've got.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. So after this, we move on to a fantastic segment we like to call Anime Daisuki with James. Go, James, go!
Excellent. That was nice.
That was
All
a little slow.
Okay. So, folks, here for Anime Daisuki, I'm going to go real kind of quick. Hiroshi Sakurazaka had written a novel called All You Need Is Kill. And there's a graphic novel adaptation of it, a manga, if you will. And that was turned into a movie called Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt, directed by Lyman.
Ah, that's where it came from.
There's going to be a sequel.
Yes.
So they just started working on the script for that officially. So, and they expect Cruise and Blunt to be back for the sequel. And it's going to get called
Live, Die,
Live,
Repeat.
Die, Repeat,
Live, Die.
and Repeat.
Okay.
And that's the working title. Funimation, if you're a have a membership on the Funimation website or a premium membership, they're going to a new 3-tier membership system for the premium levels. There's Premium, Premium Plus, and Premium Plus Ultra.
Kind of like gasoline.
Yes, and if you're already a premium member, you'll be switched over to the Premium Plus. And
what do you get for these extras?
Well, with the regular premium, you can have 2 streaming users at the same time.
Okay.
And no commercials. The Premium Plus, you can actually download to phones and tablets, and also be able to go to special member-only events via online streaming things, I guess. And you'll get a and then for the Premium Plus Ultra, you actually get an annual gift on your anniversary of your membership, and you can have 2 pay-per-view rentals and free shipping on their store orders. Also, you can in the Plus and Plus Ultra, you can have 5 users online. Cool. So you can have a whole family or friends thing going on with that. And that's going to happen April 10th. Will be the new switchover. So, and then there's still also a free membership. You know, if you want to just sign up and watch commercial versions of stuff, that's fine. Also from Funimation.
Funimation.
Right. They if they get 2,500 pre-orders for the 30th anniversary edition Blu-ray set for Dragon Ball Z, they will sell it and produce it and sell it.
Oh,
right now, if they don't have that 2,500 order count, it wouldn't be cost effective to produce the Blu-ray set. So
it's kind of like the Rhode Island license plates. If they have a special plate that they want to produce, they have to have so many people that sign up for it, and then they'll make it. But if not, that's it.
Right, but still, I think there'd be a lot of people interested in. And this is the complete Dragon Ball Z series.
How many episodes are we talking?
Oh, it's like 300.
300, yep. And bonus content and a hardcover art book that'll be included with it. So, and what might still be up in the air is what aspect ratio, because it was originally done in 4:3, and there was one of the DVD sets or an earlier version of a Blu-ray set for one of the seasons that came out that was 16:9.
Right.
So part of this too, I guess, there's going to be some remastering of the videos.
You can only watch it on an analog set.
Well, no, it's just that. Yeah, I mean, it may just appear with like
the bars.
Instead of letterbox this way, it's 4:3 boxed, which a lot of stuff now, if the older stuff is aired that way. And then let's see. One Punch Man. Season 1 was awesome. One Punch Man is this young character who he doesn't really think so much about himself. I mean, he's very timid and stuff, but he took it upon himself to become like the strongest person ever. He exercised, and so now his one punch can destroy monsters and villains with just, impunity. And he doesn't use it very often. But,
thank God.
Yeah.
Because the insurance bill would be really expensive.
Oh, right, yeah. Cities get destroyed just from that one punch. But season 2 is going to start airing in Japan and on Hulu, simulcasted, starting April 9th. And Viz Media has licensed it for North America, so you'll be able to watch it on Hulu, and hopefully when they get the dub version, they'll have it on Toonami like they did with season 1.
And it's tongue-in-cheek comedy too.
Yes.
It's like
that's what I've heard.
It's pathetic how strong he is compared to everything else. That he literally lets himself get beat to living hell, and then decides, all right, I'm kind of bored now, and does the one punch, and there's the battle that's over. It's just, it's comical. He spends more time trying to get beat up than he does actually trying to fight.
Right.
Which is kind of like the whole point of it.
Yeah. And the other heroes don't even think of him as a hero, And there's, I guess, this whole hero organization, and he's like in the lower tier, Let's see. But he has to have he does mentor Genos, who encounters him early on in the first season. And there was a Genos costumer at Arisia they actually had like smoke coming out of his arms
Oh,
and stuff.
cool.
So the glow from the lights really showed up cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right.
That's Jim.
What is Donata?
I don't know.
Thank you.
Somebody wake up the sleeping audience.
Yeah. Okay, so next, Netflix is going to premiere Ultraman on April 1st. It's a 3D CG anime, similar to all the other live-action Ultraman series.
Yep.
And this one takes place sort of 6 years after the previous Ultraman deals with this giant of light thing. And people think that Ultraman may have gone home to his home planet. But it turns out that Shin Hayate is still around, but he's not using the mantle of Ultraman anymore. But his son starts to possess strange abilities, and so his son becomes the new Ultraman. And so this will be interesting to see how it does on Netflix. I think they have another Ultraman series on Netflix, and also you can find the older Ultraman stuff on Crunchyroll. That's been, and Ultraman has always been around in Japan on television stuff since the late 60s. So. Let's see. Sanrio, who makes Hello Kitty, is working with Warner Brothers to make the first Hollywood film for Hello Kitty. And no details yet about that. They just announced it.
All right. They gave us a warning.
Right.
Okay.
And there's a French
Nice.
company, Manolo Productions, who's developing a TV series, an animated series with Sanrio called The World of Hello Kitty. And that'll be for 2021 for you Hello Kitty fans.
Okay.
Let's see. And then finally I have a thing about Mobile Suit Gundam.
Another Gundam series.
Well, this will be a movie. Brian K. Vaughan,
Another
who
Gundam?
worked on Y: The Last Man
Yep.
and Ex Machina, and the TV series Runaways, which was pretty good. It's an X-Men series, but it's on, I can't remember what streaming
believe it's
channel
on
was
Hulu.
it. Yeah, Hulu.
Yeah.
Which was pretty good. Brian K. Vaughan is writing a script for a live-action Hollywood version of Mobile Suit Gundam.
Interesting. Right.
So
He's
yeah.
a good writer.
Yeah, and the stuff he's done has been really excellent. So we'll have to see what they do, what kind of storyline they use for that.
So they're going to try to Americanize it? Is that what you're trying to say?
Could be. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the characters in the original were non-Japanese.
Okay.
There were some were, but you know, so it'd be interesting. Someone asked, you know, who do you think would be cast, the dream cast for it? And I thought maybe Bradley Cooper for Shah Aznavour. So he'd be good for that, I think. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting ways they could go. So, all right, and that's it for Anime Daisuki.
And now it's time for toys, props, and other
Stuff, man.
when we talk about the wonderful world of collectibles. Our experienced camera person, Adam Tuckman, will give us the first shot, and then we'll speak about it whenever you're ready. That is a concrete Cthulhu statue. The gentleman who makes that also makes a lot of vampires and creepy dudes and all that good stuff. Adam brought that along for the show. In the center is our PEG award that we won way back in, what, 2011?
2012.
2012, okay. And there has not been another PEG award system yet since. Get off your butt and give us another PEG awards, dudes in charge, because we deserve it. And what else is up there, Calvin?
That is the Xbox One version of the EA BioWare game Anthem, now available in stores and online for your playing pleasure.
For your
You hear that?
playing displeasure.
Sounds like a flop.
All right, what else we got?
All right, so this is the Dark Artifices series. This is part of the Shadow Hunter series by Cassandra Clare that you may know about. It is a massive book series. I think the first main series has about 6 or 7 books in it. There's another 2-book series off of that, then a 3-book series, and this is the 3-book series taking place after the main series.
Nice.
I have read books 1 and 2, Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows. Queen of Air and Darkness just came out in February, so when we're filming this, it is a little bit earlier than April, but I have not read that last book yet, but let me tell you, Lord of Shadows left on such a horrible, painful cliffhanger that I am dying to read the next one, but I'm finishing another book series right now. So this is like my reward for finishing this current book series. So if you are a young adult or older and you are looking for a really good series, of course I recommend reading the main one first so you're not completely confused on what's going on. Yeah. But definitely if you have read that, check out this Off series by Cassandra Clare. It is fantastic.
I did read the City of Bones, City of
Yeah,
Glass.
Yeah.
you really should read the other
Now,
one.
the
They're
Shadow
so
Hunters TV show, is that based on those books?
It is based on those books. I will tell you it is a total flop compared to the books.
Right.
It is nothing like what the books are. I'm kind of disappointed by it. So I would recommend that if you like the books, don't watch the show because it's going to kill it.
Right.
But the series has been going on for 3 years.
It's been going on for a
three
very long
seasons,
time.
yeah.
I am one of those people where the movie that came out, I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, I
I
like
thought
the
they did a
movie.
fantastic job. They never went and made the rest of them, and I'm very upset about that.
Yeah.
But this is definitely a good series to check out.
I'm surprised the runes on the arms didn't catch on with people.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
I was waiting for people to get runes and everything. But
There's some cosplayers, though.
do they?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's cool.
Good. That's really good. But yeah, check it out.
All right, here we go. We have a couple of pop figures. The Fourth Doctor, Tom Baker, next to the TARDIS. And the reason I brought those was because as we tape, BBC is releasing the 7th and final season of Tom Baker as the Doctor on Blu-ray.
Wow.
With extended interviews and all that really good stuff. In fact, last month they showed Legopolis, the final episode of Tom Baker as the Doctor in the theaters, Fathom Events. Had an event, they showed that to celebrate the fact that season 7, final season of Tom Baker as a Doctor is now available on Blu-ray. So if you like Tom Baker, he was always my favorite, you can check that out.
On the other side are a couple of horror anthology movies from the early to mid 80s. You have Stephen King's Cat's Eye, which is actually pretty cool. If I remember correctly, there were 3 mini movies within the movie. And on the other side was Nightmares, which is famous or infamous for being the movie that launched Emilio Estevez's career. And it was an arcade nightmare video game segment, which was really cool, so you should check it out. And here we have the Atari Flashback 9 Gold Edition.
You know, that was my very first game system, was the Atari.
The Atari 2600.
Yep.
Yep, way back in like the late 70s. What makes this so special is that it has over 100 games, about 120 games that are built into the system, as in like other previous flashbacks. How it works is they have games built into the system. With this particular one, though, you can actually play it in HD. Now, granted, yeah, it's an Atari, but still, the fact that you can play it in HD means you can use an HDMI cable and hook it up to modern TVs. And for, if you can stomach watching those games, they look crystal clear. But it also has an SD memory card slot, so you can actually, if you technically own the cartridge, you could get the ROM, put the ROM on the card, and play it in the game. So you have the potential to have every Atari 2600 game ever released be able to have this system to play it with.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
So, retro gaming night. There you go. And last but certainly not least, this is a beautiful statue of Nightwing and Batgirl. This was announced in the middle of last year. It came out in February, just in time for Valentine's Day. So this is like my Valentine's birthday and anniversary gift. What's really unique about this statue is that it can be hung up on a wall and displayed upside down, so you can see Batgirl and Nightwing are actually hanging from like a bat rope.
Right.
So, but I'm too afraid to hang it upside down. So it'll be displayed right side up.
Cool. All right, cool stuff. Any shout outs or anything this month that anybody has to do? No, nothing going on? All right.
I'd say happy birthday to my wife, Brenda.
Happy birthday.
Birthday's on the 21st, which is Easter
All right.
Sunday.
And happy birthday again to Ian.
Yes, happy birthday, Ian. Happy belated birthday.
How old are you going to be, dude?
I'm going to be
You had to think about it?
27.
Okay.
Wow, he's still young.
Yeah, I know he's
Yep.
still young. He's just a
Which
puppy.
my birthday will never fall on Easter again in my lifetime.
Oh, all right, so
Since it
enjoy
won't
it.
happen until like probably 2092, and I
Right.
don't think that I'm gonna make it to 100.
No, you might not. Hey, you never know.
Living with this one, she's gonna kill me any day now.
Oh, yeah. Now you definitely won't make it. That's it.
Damn.
Okay. All right.
But with Brenda, it being Easter, the last time it was Easter was when she was born.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Which
Wait a
is
minute.
also-
So she's over 100 years old?
No.
Well, oh, okay. All right.
Easter kind of moves
Yeah,
around
I
in
know.
strange ways.
I know.
Just
Yes, I
easy.
know. I know. The birds would get burned up. Okay.
It's very late this year.
All right. As always, if you want to reach us, our site is risfc.org. Please check that out. We always have information about stuff coming up in the news segment and information about Rhode Island Science Fiction Club meetings. We also have Facebook pages for Sci-Fi Journal and the Rhode Island Science Fiction Club. Our email address is risfic.communications.org. If you would like to send us an email and have any suggestions about stuff you'd like to see us cover on Sci-Fi Journal, please write in. Comments and questions and all that good stuff. And our show also appears on our YouTube channel. So check out YouTube if you're not able to watch us on Rhode Island Public Access. All right, that's it for the April 2019 edition of Sci-Fi Journal. Thank you very much for watching. Next month is Free Comic Book Day.
Yep.
We'll be covering that
Yay.
event for May. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Jay, wake up!
It's not.